The fourth generation was all new last year, giving us 11 horsepower more, 59 pound-feet of torque more. That gives us a 0 to 60 at 4.4 seconds. Standard all-wheel drive, which is the X-Drive. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and we're showcasing the 2026 BMW X3 M50 in Brooklyn Gray Metallic over Black Atlas interior. The front is going to have a mixture of feelings because of the platform that it's on, and they're doing the same thing with the new X5 that is coming out next year. Full LED headlights, daytime runnings, and cornering lights. It's going to go into the kidney grille. It illuminates because this is the M Sport. When you go into the M50, that's going to be standard, so you don't have to take a package for that, and I appreciate that. We do have the Shadowline lights, the Shadowline exterior trim, because we have M Sport Package Pro, and the M Sport Professional Package gives you the full LED headlights and the cornering lights. The lower is going to get the glossy black. We'll have an active grille shutter, front parking sensors, a 360-degree reverse camera, because we've added the premium package. Unfortunately, you do have to pay a premium, and when you're going into an M Sport variant, you're already paying an upgraded price. Yes, you're going to have the adaptive M suspension and the M rear differential. And you're also getting this B58, which is a 3.0 liter BMW twin power turbo inline 6-cylinder that's producing 393 horsepower and 428 pound-feet of torque paired to an 8-speed Steptronic automatic transmission. But I would like to get a few more standard features because I'm already over $70,000. Yes, the top speed is at 130 to 155 miles per hour, and 4.4 seconds 0 to 60. That's pretty damn fast for this vehicle. With a 51.8, 49.2 weight distribution, that's nearly a perfect 50-50 balance. And just like every vehicle, it has a 48-volt mild hybrid system, which is basically better for your auto start stop, which for 27 and 28 variants, they're gonna start taking this away because we have now changed the administration, which has now changed the rulings with this. You're still achieving 25 mpgs for the city, 30 for the highway. The M Sport Package Pro gives us the M Sport brakes. That's in the red for the front and the rear, with 4 pistons in the front, a single floating caliper in the rear. With these upgraded 21-inch two-tone wheels, it's a staggered wheel setup, reworked steering, stiffer anti-roll bars, revised pivot bearings, bigger control arm mounts, updated front axle geometry with more camber. But it doesn't have any air suspension or rear wheel steering. But no full M variant. You have to go into an X5 or X6 in order to get it. That's the only SUVs that's going to give you a true M, which is a big problem for me because the M that we lost, that was a performance madhouse. I mean, it's around a second faster than this, over 500 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque. We lost a gem to get something that's a little bit better economics, which it's only a few mpgs difference, but you get better towing. It's around 4,850 pounds. The rear is going to get quad exhaust tips with the diffuser. We get the LED tail lights with the gloss black going over the lower roof spoiler. It does have a sporty profile, but in some eyes, it looks too futuristic. So did BMW nail it, or did they go wrong with the change? Let me know in the comments what you think. If you're new to the channel, click the subscribe, click the like, make sure you leave that comment, because all of these clicks, it's going to help with the algorithm with all your engagement, so we can bring more vehicles to the channel. Power release going into 31.5 cubic feet of storage. The privacy cover, one thing you're noticing is it's a lot more inexpensive, so it's all cloth and plastic. There isn't any leather or leatherette on it anymore. 12-volt charger. You get a bag holder here, and then don't forget about another one right here. You get a little storage nook underneath the floor. You get a spare tire. LED interior lights, and from front to back, we got about 37 inches. And from side to side, you got about 44. You could probably do about 45 inches, but then the wheel well area becomes an issue. Now, in order to split fold the rear seats, you have to go into the back. That's definitely going to be a con to me because look at all this extra work I'm doing just to get into the back seat because of the auto lock. And the auto lock for 26, it actually is a lot more sensitive than the 25 variants. It's going to fold down at a 40-20-40 split. And look at all this extra work I'm having to do. That's going to maximize the cargo at 67.1 cubic feet. We need to go inside, start it up, so you can hear that exhaust note. key fob to the X3 M50i. Listen to this intro. With this 14-way power seat adjustment for the driver, 12-way power seat adjustment for the passenger in the black Atlas gray M leather. You get the contrast and piping, and it's also perforated manual cushion extensions, memory for the driver. Heated seats is standard. Ventilated is a standalone option. It is driver focused setup. You get the contrast stitch on the dashboard that works up to the top. So I do like the styling, but what happens here is, look at this. You're gonna start sacrificing in leg space. I have maybe 5 inches, and then on the side here, I got 6 to maybe 5 inches as well. And the seat is actually same position as the driver with the enlarged curve 2-screen, 1-panel layout. Let's fire it up. Heads-up display, auto-dimming rear view mirror. You get the home link right here. LED interior lights. Interior cam, that's part of the premium package. The glossy black you could already see from my fingerprints. The premium package adds the 360-degree reverse camera. When you click onto the more, you have a 3D view, which you can go all around the vehicle. There isn't any gesture control. You can click back onto the more, and you can go for the car wash view. That'll show the trajectory for the front. So on both the front and the rear, the trajectory will expand. That also includes the driving assist plus with the Harman Kardon upgraded sound system. The gauge cluster can go through an array of different content for the driver, including the turn-by-turn navigation, and you can change out the heads-up display for a standard view, directional view, assist view, sport view, curve ahead view, reduced view. With a leather-wrapped steering wheel, 12 o'clock, flat bottom, M badge, heated, multifunction. The paddle shifts get the boost. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, wirelessly. Sirius XM with 360L, Alexa built-in, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio, Wi-Fi. You can see your news, weather, and you have My Modes, which you have a ton of different driving modes. You have personal, sport, efficient, experience, relax, digital, silent, everything. And when you click it, look at this. This is the silent. It's going to close that panel moonroof. Only damn thing it's good for. You can change the individual settings here too for anything that you like. You can also do the same thing when you're in the driving mode part. So when you click sport mode, for instance, you click onto this individual, you can change this, and some of them you can do sport plus, some of them you can only do sport. And you have a digital pad to turn on and off each individual air vent, and they're more seamless and hidden throughout, except for on the door car. With a wireless charging pad and BMW's digital key. 2 USB-C ports right there. The iDrive is going to have more of the glossy black that's found around it. It's going to be a little bit more soft. Opens up into a medium storage pocket with a 12 volts. Check out the leg space that you have on the driver's side now. You have about 6 to 7 inches. So it's a little bit more generous on this side. In headroom, I would say we have about 3 or 4 inches, but you can let me know in the comments. With a large panel moonroof, but then the con that comes into play is this is just a stationed glass. Door panel and dash, it configures it together. I don't like this pattern. It's all plastic derived. You get the touchpad to turn on and off the air vents, which is right here. I think they did a good job closing that in. One touch up and down for all the windows. It's a little bit more sporty with a long storage pocket, beverage holder carved out, and maybe a little mint holder right here in the front. For the back seat, this is the opening that you have to fit 2 more with the cup holders and armrests down. The stitch work comes into the back, so I appreciate that. You get storage behind both of the front seats. It's a storage net with a little area that you can put your hand through. You have a connector here, 2 USB-C ports here with a tray of storage, your air vents here. And the door card is going to be the same as the front, just a little bit smaller, still sporty, and almost the same size storage pocket as the front. Sitting behind me, the seats are carved out, so you have plenty of leg room. You actually have almost as much leg room sitting behind me at 6'3" as you do in the front, which is pretty crazy. Headroom, it's about the same as well. You can let me know in the comments. Sliding into the center, I'm going to be sharing some knee space, and that's going to taper down to about 3.5 inches to maybe an inch if the seat is back a little bit further. Sharing feet, butt, leg, and shoulder space. But with that being said, I still have a good 16 to 17 inches beside me, as well as maybe 3 or 4 inches, but you can let me know in the comments. With 393 horsepower, I think that is more than efficient for an everyday plus a performance car lifted up into an SUV with 8.3 inches of clearance. Yes, you're not getting the rear axle steering, but you have a near 50-50 weight distribution. There isn't any air suspension, but you have adaptive M suspension. And the ride is still pretty composed for the most part, even with these upgraded wheels. X-Drive, which is the all-wheel drive, so it has all of the guts and DNA embedded, but then does it lack in the performance line because we no longer have a true M that slots into this variant? Well, that's what we're gonna see right here with 428 pound-feet of torque. With a 4.4 second 0 to 60, I think it's pretty darn quick. Top speed, 130 to 155 miles per hour. Where are you gonna go these speeds? I mean, that's just insane. And to do this, we obviously have to change it into sport mode. I'm gonna stop right here. We're gonna hit the boost. Let's rock and roll. You get the burbles that come in. We got the M Sport brakes, so we're taking care of with stoppage. Hopefully these people stop. Nope. You gotta tell them sometimes they're supposed to stop at a yield. You can hear the signal. The exit. I mean, it's definitely got the performance. I mean, putting Kroger to shame because we could deliver so much faster in this than that. But realistically speaking, this is an everyday car lifted up into an SUV, so you have your daily practical use. Over 4,800 pounds of towing, which is a lot better than the prior. You have the ability to take corners and bends in the road. It's a pretty nice soundtrack. And you got a ton of different driving modes, and they actually work, which changes the steering, it changes the pedal feel, it changes the whole feeling of the vehicle. But it's gonna lead me to some cons. The exterior and interior, the updates, I don't like the flat dash. I like the wheel design. I'm kind of okay with the kidney grille, but all of these lights in the front, I mean, it's gonna get old quick. What happened to the minimalistic look? I don't need a spaceship in the front, and in the back you got like 2 lights. I like the quad exhaust tips. The lower looks more dynamic than the actual M version we lost a couple years back. I like that it's a little bit longer and wider and taller because that gives me more interior space and it feels more spacious in the cabin. I dislike that they take away some of the leather around the seats. This curved panel 2-screen layout, it's great. I mean, 14.9 inches, how much more screenage do you need? It's literally like a little TV. The sound deadening could be a little bit better because we're in a $70,000+ vehicle. The ride though is a lot more comfortable than the prior. This area here, it seems like they forgot what they were doing, so they just left it open. I kind of wish they would have made like a little area here so you could rest your arm, a little bit more so than this little cushion that I got back here, and then put a pass-through. It just would have worked out a little bit better with storage. The wireless charging pad, it clicks on and off. The 360-degree camera, I think it's one of the best, and I like the reverse assist that it does because you go well over 100 feet and it'll go exactly the way you went forward, backwards, which helps in reversing for, like if you're in a one-way, or even if you're in a tight spot, you just need to get out, it will help you do that. Back seat has more than enough space, just doesn't have enough charging ports. Storage in the door card, it's pretty good. It's a lot better than the prior. Seat cushion itself is a lot more comfortable, a lot more cargo capacity, so there's a lot more pluses going into an M Sport variant than the prior that we lost. The interior cockpit for the driver, it does feel a lot more sporty because you got a flat bottom 12 o'clock, even the way this gauge cluster layout is, because you can see everything right in demand. Obviously, I dislike the auto start stop and the 48 volt mild hybrid system, which helps with the auto start stop. And the more interesting thing about that is the fact that in the next year or two, they're going to be phasing out the auto start stop. So then what was the purpose of getting a 48 volt mild hybrid system? To add $5,000 to $10,000 when it breaks down? It's a battery, it's going to happen. Feels a lot wider. It feels like a baby X5, but it has a lot more momentum. So that is something that it definitely makes it more appealing, because you don't have to go into the X5, but you will if you want a true M. I don't like the air vents. The prior felt like it just gave more air in the interior. I'm not a huge fan of this tech-forward vehicle design, but I mean, when you put in all the specs, you actually drive the vehicle, you do start falling in love with it, because it does give you everything an X5 would in a little bit smaller package. I just feel like it's not going to stay as new looking as some of the other vehicles, because eventually this tech forward thing is going to change. We're not going to want plastic and ambient lighting everywhere and lights all over the exterior, on the wheels, on the bottom, on this, that. Come on. Let's just make a practical, fun vehicle. That's what BMW is known to do. And at a $70,000+ price, it does tick the box for everything, but it goes a little bit too much into the futuristic design. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out this next video right here.